Brookhaven, or any virtual world, is just a game for most kids. But for 10-year-old Aryan, it was the only reality that mattered. It was enough to make him turn against his own mother in a way that left the paramedics speechless. Meet Aryan. He looks like a normal, happy kid. He loves pepperoni pizza. He loves funny videos. But most of all, he loves his game. In fact, he doesn't just love it. He lives inside it. If you play games online, you know the cycle. You spawn into a city. You build a house. You drive fancy cars. And you build a virtual life. For Aryan, the mansions and the digital wealth in the game are more real than his small, crowded apartment he plays every single day. The moment his feet touch the floor in the morning, he grabs his tablet. Every day when he comes home from school, he doesn't even take off his heavy backpack or change out of his uniform. He drops his bag on the floor, ignores his homework, and runs straight to his screen. At school, he can't focus on his teachers. While other children draw pictures of animals or play outside, Aryan sits alone in the corner of the playground, using his fingers to draw game layouts in the dirt. He thinks about the game during math class. He thinks about it while reading. As the weeks go by, his love for the game turns into a dangerous obsession. Aryan starts watching how-to videos on how to troll other players, how to break into private servers, and how to ruin other people's hard work. He starts acting aggressive in real life too. If his mother asks him to clean his room, Aryan growls like an animal. If she asks about his failing grades, he covers his ears and screams until he turns blue. His mother, Nita, works very hard. She is a single mother after her husband left years ago. She works long shifts at a local store, coming home with tired eyes and aching feet. She feels guilty that Aryan doesn't have a father at home, so she tries to give him everything. She thinks, at least he is safe inside the house. But Nita doesn't know that the game is slowly destroying Aryan's brain. If the internet stops working for even 1 second, Aryan throws his toys against the wall. If another player bans his avatar, he screams until his throat hurts. It is a cold Thursday evening in November. The sun is going down. It is getting dark outside. Inside the small apartment, everything is quiet except for the subtle tapping coming from Aryan's tablet. Nita is in the kitchen. She is exhausted from a long day of standing and serving customers. She wants to make a nice warm dinner for her and Aryan to cheer them up. She decides to make some hot soup from scratch. She takes out a big, heavy metal pot. She fills it all the way to the top with cold water and places it on the gas stove. She turns the fire all the way up to boil the water. In the living room, Aryan is sitting on the floor with his tablet. His eyes are wide open. He is not blinking. He is about to make the biggest achievement of his life in the game. He is about to unlock the rarest mansion on the private hills, a special pass he has been trying to get for 8 months. He spent months saving up, trading items, and waiting for this exact moment. He is typing fast. His heart is beating hard against his chest. Please, please, please let me unlock it. Aryan whispers softly to the screen. The screen flashes bright green. The redemption window opens. Aryan just needs to press the green accept button to claim his mansion. 10 seconds left. 9 out. Then he hears his mother's voice. Aryan, dinner is going to be ready in 5 minutes. Turn off the tablet right now. Put it away and come set the table. Nita shouts from the kitchen. Aryan does not answer. He does not even blink. He is staring at the bright green button. 5 seconds left. Here, Aryan, I said right now. Move your feet. Suddenly, Nita walks into the living room. She is holding a dirty kitchen towel over her shoulder. She looks down at Aryan. She sees her son completely ignoring her, lost inside the glass screen. Nita is tired, stressed, and angry. She walks over, reaches down, grabs the tablet right out of Aryan's hands, and turns off the screen. The screen goes completely black. The process stops midway. The screen locks. The rare mansion is gone forever. 8 months of hard work and daily obsession gone in 1 second. Aryan freezes. His hands stay floating in the air, open and empty. He looks at his empty hands. Then he slowly turns his head and looks at his mother. Nita reaches up and puts the tablet on top of a high shelf that Aryan cannot reach. I told you to stop. You play too much. You are ruining your mind with these games. Now go to the bathroom and wash your hands, Nita says firmly. Then Nita turns her back, leaves the living room, and walks back into the kitchen to check on the boiling water for the soup. Aryan stands up very slowly. He does not cry. He does not scream. He does not throw a tantrum like he usually does. Something inside his young brain just breaks completely. In his twisted mind, Nita is not his mom anymore. Nita is not the woman who buys him food or takes care of him. Nita is just a bad guy, an enemy player, who just destroyed his virtual life and kicked him out of his house. Aryan's face turns bright red. His breathing gets very heavy and fast through his nose. He begins to walk soundlessly behind his mother into the kitchen. In the kitchen, the big metal pot of water is boiling violently. Big hot bubbles are popping at the top. Thick steam is rising high into the air. The water's super hot. It is extremely dangerous. Nita is standing right in front of the stove, leaning forward, looking down at the boiling pot. Aryan steps right behind her. Aryan is small, but in this moment, he is full of pure, dark anger. Nita turns her head a little bit, sensing someone standing behind her. Did you wash your... Before Nita can finish talking, Aryan lifts both of his hands. He pushes his mother's back as hard as his small body can. Nita loses her balance completely. She falls forward with a loud crash. Her hands hit the hot stovetop, but worse. Her head smashes hard into the long handle of the big metal pot. The pot tips over completely. All the boiling water, every single drop of scalding liquid, splashes right onto Nita's face, neck, and chest. For 1 second, there is total silence in the room. Just the sound of hot water dripping onto the floor, then a scream. It is not a normal scream. It is a scream of terrible, awful, unbelievable pain. It is the loudest, most terrifying sound you will ever hear in your life. Nita falls flat onto the kitchen floor. She covers her face with both of her burning hands. Her skin turns bright red, then white, and then it starts to peel right off her face. The water was so hot, it literally cooked her skin in 1 second. Nita rolls back and forth on the wet floor, crying, gasping, and screaming for help. My face, oh my God, my face. It burns, help me. Aryan, help me. Nita screams, her voice cracking from agony. Aryan stands right there at the kitchen doorway. He looks down at his mother, squirming on the floor. Does he help her? Does he run to get a wet towel? Does he dial the police? No. Aryan looks away from his mother's burning body. He calmly turns around and walks out of the kitchen. He steps right over the pool of hot soup water on the floor. He walks back into the living room, drags a heavy dining chair across the room, climbs on top of it, and reaches his small hand up to take his tablet down from the high shelf. He turns the tablet back on. He opens the game again, while his mother is screaming in unbearable pain on the kitchen floor, burning and crying. Aryan sits comfortably on the soft sofa, taps his screen, and starts looking for another server to join. The neighbors in the apartment complex heard the terrible, unending screams. Through the thin walls, they quickly called the emergency police. When the police officers broke down the front door 15 minutes later, they found an absolute nightmare. The kitchen looked like a horror movie set. Nita was lying on the wet floor, passing out from the extreme pain and shock. Her face was completely ruined. The damage was so severe, she would never look normal ever again. The police officers ran into the living room. They saw little Aryan. He did not even look up. When the heavy boots of the police came running in, he did not care about the flashing red and blue lights outside the window. He just kept tapping his screen with his thumb. I need to play. Nita stayed in the hospital burn unit for 4 long months. She had to get many painful surgeries to fix her skin and throat. She lost her ability to speak properly and can now only make weak, raspy sounds. She has to wear a tight special medical mask over her face every day. Every single time she looks in the mirror, she remembers that awful Thursday night. But the story does not end in the kitchen. What happened to 10-year-old Aryan? Because he was so young, the law could not put him in a normal adult prison. Instead, they took him to a high-security mental facility for children, a cold, silent place with thick concrete walls and heavy locking doors. There are no toys in his small room. There is no television. no books, and there is strictly no internet or screens allowed. The walls are covered in soft white padding, and the tiny window high above his bed has thick metal bars on it. The doctors watch him through a small glass window every single day, writing notes in their files. They wait for him to realize what he did. They wait for him to ask for his mother or cry from guilt, but he never does. Aryan just sits in the dark corner of his padded room, staring blankly at his empty hands. His fingers keep moving fast, clicking invisible mice and tapping invisible keys in the empty air over and over again. He is playing a game that only he can see. When the nurses slide his food tray through the door slot and ask, "Aryan, do you miss your mom? Do you know what you did?" Aryan does not even turn his head. He just stares at the blank white wall and into the quiet room. "I need to unlock my mansion. Give me my computer. The server is closing." He feels no guilt. He feels no sadness. His mind is completely gone. Trapped forever inside a virtual game he will never be able to play again, while Aryan is locked away in that lonely facility. His mother, Nita, is living a completely different nightmare. She survived the boiling water, but her life was ruined because she was stuck in the hospital for so many months. Her boss at the store called her room and fired her. Suddenly, Nita had no job and no income. At the same time, massive hospital bills started arriving in the mail, adding up to thousands and thousands of dollars that she could never pay. Then came the rent deadline. Nita was finally discharged from the hospital, walking out with her medical face mask on. Her landlord came to her apartment door and knocked very hard. The landlord did not care about Nita's burned face. He did not care that her son was in a mental hospital. He only cared about her rent money. When Nita could not pay, the landlord evicted her on the spot. Nita was kicked out of her own home. She had to pack all her clothes and Aryan's old childhood toys into cheapy, black trash bags. With no money and nowhere else to go, Nita had to move into her elderly brother's tiny dark basement across town. Now Nita does not even have a real bed. She sleeps on a small lumpy sofa in the corner of the cold basement floor. Every time her brother looks at Nita's ruined face, he covers his eyes and cries quietly. Sometimes late at night, when the house is dark and silent, Nita reaches into her trash bag and pulls out a small photo frame, a picture of her and little Aryan smiling at a park before the tablet, before the game, before the boiling water. Nita holds the photo against her chest and cries silently into the dark until she falls asleep. Nita lost her job, her money, her home, and her only little boy. In the end, there are no winners here. Only wreckage left behind by a digital world that swallowed a child whole. A mother's sacrifice, years of hard work, and a quiet home. Of it traded for pixels on a screen that disappeared in a single second. As the digital server closes and the virtual doors lock forever, we are left with a terrifying question. When we hand a glowing screen to a child to keep them quiet, do we really know what is growing inside their mind? Or are we just waiting for the day the screen goes black and the real nightmare begins? Wait, in the end, there are no winners here. Just a silent kitchen, a shattered home, and a terrifying truth we refuse to see. We handed a glowing screen to a child to keep them quiet, thinking it was just a game. But we didn't realize that the digital world was quietly swallowing their mind whole, piece by piece, until a single second changed everything forever. The screen goes black, the doors lock, but as you sit in the dark tonight, ask yourself a simple question. When you look at your child across the dinner table tomorrow, do you really know who is looking back? Or are you just waiting for the day your screen goes black and the real nightmare begins? If you dare to uncover what's hiding behind the glowing pixels, hit subscribe right now, because the next story might already be inside your house.